Telling everybody up your speed. That was a couple of years ago, and now I'm revving up for deliverance, switching up gears, got a couple of years to go. Here we go, soon as you hear that go, Liverpool to Portsmouth, yeah, that chorus, got the crowd screaming. Hear the strap, seatbelt, there it's back. Time to blow like I'm dynamo. No more disappearing act. I know you missed me, I missed you too. Sometimes that's what a miss will do. Like Tayo, I was cruising. Now it's time to take my steering back. One of the best to ever do it. A testament to this game. And even in the wind I never blew it. I swayed but kept to my lane. They call me Fleetwood Mac. I'm a Mac with a fleet. Still getting royalties, no spoiler, but I spoil you me. I got the crowd screaming. Cameras can flash, pretty lady by my side, Lewis Hamilton of rap. Foot down, moving mammoth on the track, and I don't need no GPS to see my manner on the map. Still representing my flag, and I've been all around the world, I've done laps. And I got the whole crowd raising the roof, I'm Nigel Man, so better take off hats. Sticks to the flats, to the bass up max. People in the rave, better raise your hands, let me hear you make some noise. They tried to give me a ticket, but I ripped it like a raffle. Tell them people I am Mr. Derek Sapp. Pedal to the metal on the level, now you gotta settle for anything less than gold. Now you gotta meddle around about, end up and down and out, trying to build since I was a little kid, but never had an ego. Running through the fields and the meadows of Valley Valley, and now I'm on the hill. Watch a better was able to make a fake boy, and I could never make a real boy hard to steal. I ain't gonna stop until I do it, people really get. I give them a demo when I was told to do it, didn't get it back up on the bill, get it fresh from the bag. Bob's your uncle, mics up, can feel it because I've got the willpower and the potential, and I've got the credentials. All of the essentials, when I get stressed from my BP rises, but I'm never gonna stop unless I need to get still speeding. Still speeding. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. From New York to LA, east to the west. Go on and crown me king. I'm the best of the best. Just one look, you're gonna be obsessed. just watch me now. Just watch me now. I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. 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 I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Sunday Night Showdown with the NEXXTCAR Racing League. That is right, folks. We are back, and tonight we are at the Tricky Triangle for the second race of Season 10. And to help us count down to the drop of the green flag, well, that is none other than Peyton Tullock. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, Ryan. What's going on with you?
Not much, man. I'm ready to get this race started. You know, we've kind of had a little bit of a funky start to Season 10 here. You know, we raced a week, then we were off a week for Mother's Day. We're racing this week, then we're off next week for Memorial Day. So kind of a one-on, one-off kind of start to the season. But, hey, that is amping everything up, and it all goes down here for 225 miles around this Tricky Triangle.
Yeah, it's kind of like almost like a warm up for the season in a weird way. Kind of everybody getting their feet wet, getting going. Had Mother's Day, of course, and then Memorial Day coming up next weekend. A lot of guys had plans for both of those, so taking those 2 weekends off, I think that's the right call. But here in the middle, we got a nice little fun race here at Pocono, the Tricky Triangles they like to call it, for a good reason. So should be an interesting race, Ronnie.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we are joined up here for the pre race show by none other than your Season 9 O'Reilly Series champion. Excuse me. Hold on. Sorry about that. I'm reading a text message. We're joined up here by Jesse Graham, your Season 9 O'Reilly Series champion. What's going on, Jesse? How you doing, man?
Oh, pretty good. Hope you guys are doing all right.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Walk me through the last couple of seasons here in NEXXTCAR for you. We just mentioned it, Season 9 champion. Then O'Reilly got kicked to the curb. Now it's back, but it's like you never left it, man. You left Season 9 the champion, kicked off Season 10 last week at Daytona with a second-place finish, had an opportunity to make a move in the pass for the win, but you stayed loyal to your good old buddy, old pal, Alberto Abar, pushed him to the win, and here you are coming into Pocono.
Yeah, I mean, we did have that little, I guess it's been a little bit of time since we got to race here and stuff. But yeah, Daytona was good. Had a early mishap and stuff. But yeah, at the end, it was a tough call. It's like, do I stick with him or try to win it? But I just felt like trying to win it neither one of us would have ended up winning it with the run the boys behind us had and stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm sure Alberto was definitely very appreciative of your loyalty to his back bumper. And, that's something we always prided ourselves on at American Defenders Racing. We talked to Alberto a little bit about it in the post-race interview, but that's something we always pride ourselves. Me, you, Peyton, Alberto, Steve Bocock. When American Defenders was a thing, we always raced very well together at the super speedways. And even though we don't technically have teams here in NEXXTCAR anymore, that has not stopped the 3 or 4 of you guys from finding each other throughout the races and working with each other for the duration of that race.
Oh, for sure. I mean, most races you can just be on your own and figure it out yourself, but super speedway you definitely have to have friends. And sometimes in situations like that, I helped him this time. Maybe the next super speedway it turns around and Alberto is pushing me to the win. So I think it always comes around. There during that race, I know it was me, Alberto, Peyton, and Steve. We were all trying to work together, and it just kind of played out. The 2 of us got up there to the front.
Yeah, absolutely. Peyton, walk me through your half of the teamwork between the 3 or 4 of you guys when it comes to super speedways the majority of the time, but also at a track like this here at Pocono where, yeah, it's not listed as a super speedway, but with these long straightaways and these long swooping turns down there in turn 1, it almost kind of races where you got to rely on the draft because if you don't have help anywhere, you're going backwards quickly.
Yeah, like obviously people when you go to super speedways, like teamwork is way more important than other tracks. That's true. That's a fair statement. However, teamwork's still very important at all tracks, because I mean you have to have those guys that work together with you, talk strategy, figure out what the best thing is together. But also the situations like a track like this, like you just said, there's these long ass straightaways. You need like if you get below somebody, the guy behind you might end up choosing who's going to make the pass and you need somebody behind you that's going to help you make that pass and not leave you in the dust. So teamwork's a huge part of it, and you've seen, like you talked about that the past, we've done a really good job at that, and one of us came out of the win last week.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, a track like this, you got to rely on a team as well, not just for the, helping you with the setup or anything like that. But like you said, you as the second car in line or whatever, you can dictate who makes that pass down these straightaways. If you go with one guy, he's going to get past that other guy and vice versa. So, yeah, you got to have that guy behind you can rely on and someone that you know is going to stay loyal to your back bumper and someone that you can trust, not only at a super speedway, but also here where they're going to bump in the right spot. They're not going to hook you. They're not going to be offset and turn you into that outside wall or worse, take you and a couple other guys out.
Yeah, trust is key. Not only is communication, but so is trust behind the wheel. So you're exactly right. You got to have not only good friends, you got to have friends that know what the heck they're doing. Because if not, that's how you see it in real life all the time. It seems like if you have teamwork, I mean, it's great on paper, but if you don't work together and one guy makes a mistake, then everybody's wrecked. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, running.
Yeah, absolutely. And a wrecked race car, Jesse, is no good for anybody.
No, it doesn't work out too well. But follow on Peyton said, it's definitely a lot of teamwork involved in a lot more than just at the super speedways. And I've been in chats with them, with Peyton and Alberto through that first season and stuff, and it helped me out tremendously, even though I didn't have the speed that those guys had.
Yeah, absolutely. You might not have had the speed then, but I would definitely say you've got it now because obviously you have that championship to your name in season 9. So walk me through just how your progression has been throughout your time here in NEXXTCAR. Like you said, you didn't have the speed when you first joined, but here you are coming into season 10.
Oh yeah, the first season I think y'all might have wanted to kick me out of the thing because I was crashing a lot and just not very good at all. But I did a lot of practicing, raced some other leagues. Big shout out to Alberto. He did quite a few test sessions with me to help me understand the cars more and how to drive them and stuff. So the season I won, I was just there every week almost, and just a lot more consistent. But I feel like this year or this season I'll be able to contend for some wins and a lot more top fives and things like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You mentioned it being more consistent. Those top fives, they're absolutely crucial this season because the chase is back, baby. Winning you're in, throw it out the window. So you have got to find consistency through the first 10 races of the season just to make the playoffs. So, or no, I'm sorry, not the playoffs, the chase. So walk me through, obviously last week at Daytona, it doesn't get much better than second, right? Walk me through how does that affect the focus on the rest of the season where you're coming out of Daytona with a fantastic race, a lot of points, but here we are where nothing's guaranteed in this series. So walk me through how does coming out of Daytona with second place set you up for the rest of the season?
Well, it definitely helps give you confidence that you can finish up towards the front and stuff. But, Daytona is a different beast in itself where, sometimes you can luck into some good finishes. But it gives me like the confidence going in. But what I got to focus on is stage points because I only got like one last week or not. So that put me kind of give Alberto a big jump, even though he finished, he won. And then, I'm fourth in points, but I ran second in the race. So I got to focus on getting some stage points this year. Be more consistent in that, and then have a consistent finish because them stage points they make up a difference. From a guy that has a fifth place race, but he ends up getting second most points. So that's where we need to focus on a lot is, stage racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Peyton, walk me through the points aspect of this thing. So obviously last week at Daytona, we saw just what guys are willing to do with this new chase format. We saw the aggressiveness at the end of the stage. We had 2 battles going on at the end of stage 1 last week at the end of lap 40. You had the battle for the stage win. You also had one heck of a battle out of 3 guys, bumper to bumper, side by side for that lucky dog. They were dipping and diving from lane to lane, getting very aggressive with blocks, like I said, just not for the stage win, but for that lucky dog position. So walk me through as a driver, how does the chase change your entire outcome from last season to this season, where last season, win, sweet, I'm in the playoffs. Let's take it easy for the next 9 weeks. But here you are, where that win for Alberto or a second place for Jesse, at the end of the day, that could ultimately be the difference maker.
Yeah, I mean, now, like, consistency was very important before, but now it's everything. Like, it is so important for you to be like just constantly almost perfect every race because I mean, not only are you trying to make the playoffs, but for you to have a chance to win this championship, you're gonna have to finish really well in the regular season points. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If not, you have such a big hole in the playoffs, you're gonna have to be lights out. I mean, we're talking about Tony Stewart-esque 2011 to even have a shot. Or but it's just it makes everything so almost kind of stressful as drivers. You saw it the first week of the year. Like it already has started. You have to get every point possible, every stage point possible, every position possible on the track, because that's one extra point both in the regular season and the playoff grid. So yeah, I think you're gonna see it all year. Like you talk about points, points, points. That's gonna be the story all season long going into the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's talk about a driver real quick who had a phenomenal race going on last week, left Daytona with a very disappointing finish. And that is none other than the 29 of Robert Hassong. That man, he's a previous winner in NEXXTCAR in the Cup Series when we were down at Myrtle Beach. So he knows how to get it done in this league. Daytona was looking like it was going to be possibly his race to get back to victory lane. He was aggressive, but he was making all the right moves when he needed to. Found himself up inside the top 7 for the majority of the race, but at the end of the day, he got caught up in the big one, and he walked out 15th in points. So a very disappointing finish. But Jesse, how do you put something like that? I know we all say it's Daytona, anything can happen, anybody can win, but how do you put what I would consider a severely disappointing day for Robert Hassong's point of view behind you and focus tonight at Pocono and the remainder 8 races of the regular season?
You got to look at it this way: is you just got to put it behind you. You can't think about it going to the next race. All you can do is control what you can control. And so if he comes out here tonight, he just needs to get him solid stage, solid finish like that, and just focus on each race at hand. Because the race that happens already happened. There's nothing you can do about it. So you just got to focus on the next race and try to improve where you were at and get that good solid finish. But if you're thinking about the points or thinking about the last race, it's going to actually probably hurt you in the long run, where you make mistakes trying to overdrive your car to compensate for a bad race.
Peyton, what you got?
Yeah, you just got to control what you control as a driver. Daytona is one of those tracks that everybody knows anything can happen. A lot of drivers, I mean, some it went perfect for it, others it did not. Robert's one of those guys, but he knows just anybody. Like, as long as you know, have speed, you're calm, patient, like, things are going to come your way eventually. It's a long season. I know we talked about every point matters, but I think it's another kind of go on that. Like, if you have a bad race, you got to be able to bounce back up. You can't linger on it like Jesse was just saying. And Robert's a guy that I don't have to worry about that with. He's always been a cool, calm head. I know he's already got his head on this week. So move on, do what you can do, get points. Because I mean, all it takes is one good race tonight, and then bam. I mean, you're back in it easy. So early in the season, no stress. Do what you know how to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we are closing in on a minute left in practice, we're going to get ready to wrap this pre-race show up. But one more question for you, Peyton. We'll start it off with you. Obviously, Pocono Raceway is nicknamed the Tricky Triangle. But the last couple of times that we have been here, it has definitely not been tricky for you. What's it going to take tonight, and what's it going to take to continue that winning streak here at Pocono?
Tires, and consistency. I'm going to tell you tonight, so far, at least in this practice session, these clouds have actually been a little tricky themselves. It's been shade on, shade off, sun, and back in the shade. And this track is slippery. So not only are you going to need to protect your tires, you can't have those big slides that'll wear your tires out quickly. Not to mention restarts. You've got to watch out for those. You're going to see it 3 wide, maybe even 4 wide on these restarts. Everybody trying to get all they want. That's where the Tricky Triangle usually catches people. Got to stay out of trouble. There is no fast repairs this week. Something different than Super Speedways. Stay out of trouble, save your stuff, and you'll have a chance to win.
Absolutely. Jesse, what you got for that 17 to try to dethrone him here at Pocono tonight?
No, it's going to be pretty tricky, you know. I think the person that's easiest on their tires and that can maintain speed is going to have a shot at winning it. And you're going to have to track position so huge here, I believe. So a good qualifying effort, and then hitting your tires just right and maintaining that long run speed, because we're going to have to pit on stage 1 and everything. So if it's under green, you got to be good at your pit stops too.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, best of luck tonight, Jesse. Maybe you can back up that second place finish from last week at Daytona with a win tonight. Best of luck, buddy.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And Payne, I'm gonna leave you up here for a split second. We talked about it last week. Just the names that have made the return to NEXXTCAR. We talked about Alberto Abar, Nicholas Don Francisco, but we have got a huge announcement tonight with another guy that is making his return tonight, and that is none other than the one and the only Brendan Jenks. He was here back in, I think it was like seasons 2, 3, and 4, so a long time ago in NEXXTCAR, but he has made his return this season, and back when he was here the first time, Peyton, that was the guy that you based everything off of, him and Ronnie Norman. Tonight, Brendan Jenks making his return.
Yeah, you stole the words out of my mouth. I mean, when you think of Brandon Jenks, it's hard to not think about him and Ronnie Norman together. Those are two guys that early in NEXXTCAR's like life here on iRacing. Taught us a whole lot. They came out here and whooped our ass. I'm just gonna be frankly honest. Those guys developed the league just because they were that rabbit for the league to chase, and it was really cool having Ronnie Norman come back and. Now that we've all improved a little bit, maybe we'll actually race the guy, and now we get Jinx back. So awesome guy to have back. I'm excited to see what he does because, like we just talked about, like it's a completely different league than when Jinx was here in the past. So we have a whole lot of speed. I mean, I'll look at this field, low key, an absolute stacked field tonight. It's gonna be tough. So we'll see what he's got.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, buddy, I'm going to let you go as qualifying is currently underway. But I appreciate you jumping up here for the second race of Season 10 here and the NEXXTCAR O'Reilly Series. Appreciate you jumping up here and best of luck tonight.
Anytime, Ronnie. Thanks for everything you do, and hopefully we'll be talking to you here in a bit.
Yes, sir. But folks, that is going to do it for your NEXXTCAR pre-race show here from what they call the tricky triangle of Pocono Raceway. Folks, buckle up because tonight, these drivers, they have got one heck of a challenge ahead of them.
Here we go. It's about time that we set it off. Here we go. Red lights, I could never stop. A dreamer with the fever to be great was all I ever want, was all I ever wanted. A fighter with the fever for the fame was all I ever want, was all I ever wanted. Got me singing like bang, 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 bang. This fire's a weapon. Bang, 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 bang. Won't stop till we're legends. Won't stop till we're legends. Here we go. It's my turn to make history. Here we go. When I'm gone, they'll remember me. Yeah, a dreamer with the fever to be great was all I ever want, was all I ever wanted. A fighter with the fever for the fame was all I ever want, was all I ever wanted. Got me singing like bang, 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 bang. This fire's a weapon. Bang, 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 bang. Won't stop till we're legends.
All right, folks, welcome back here to Pocono Raceway, where tonight the NEXXTCAR O'Reilly Series is getting ready to do battle around this 2.5-mile track. Let's check out your race information for tonight here. For the three-turn showdown 225 presented by True Designs Racing Cockpits and W Energy. That weather, 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 25% humidity under cloudy skies with that wind blowing at 11 mile an hour. You heard about the clouds. Peyton Tullock mentioned it in the pre-race show, just how much the clouds were actually helping that car around that 2.5-mile track. So as the race progresses and the clouds either come, are here to stay or go away, it is going to be interesting who is able to keep up with the track changes around this 2.5-mile track. That track temperature at a hot 86 degree Fahrenheit. So as those clouds stay, that track temperature is going to stay cool. If they go away, that track temperature is going to go up, and that means that track surface is going to get slicker. 90 laps tonight with that stage break coming on lap 40. Folks, this track, it has got a reputation around the NASCAR world, and it has definitely earned its nickname, the Tricky Triangle. But folks, qualifying has come to an end. That means one thing and one thing only. We are getting ready to grid here for 90 laps. Let's check out your starting grid for tonight. Colin Ballinger kicking off season 10 with the pool tonight with Brendan Jenks and his return to NEXXTCAR starting on his outside. Row number 2 is going to go to the veterans of NEXXTCAR, Noah Jackson and Peyton Tulloch. Row number 3, Caleb Bland with Alberto Abar, last week's winner from Daytona. Row number 4, Robert Babcock in that 7th position with Joe Torres in 8th. 9th place is going to go to Jesse Graham with 10th. Dylan Eller rounding out your top 10. 11th place, Dylan Tibbetts. 12th, Patrick James. 13th, Trenton Branson. 14th, Owen Bridges. 15th, Brent Homan. 16th, Corey Taylor. 17th, Cole Gosnell, with 18th going to Robert Asong. 19th, Cole Morton. 20th, Robert Yoakum, rounding out your field tonight. But folks, let's see if we can't dial up a driver who had a phenomenal race going last week. Walked away with a top 3 finish in that 3rd position, and that is none other than Robert Babcock. Robert Babcock is running in the booth. You got me, buddy?
I got you, Ronnie.
All right, buddy. Last week at Daytona had arguably your best race ever in NEXXTCAR. Unfortunately, you came up a little short and finished 3rd. Tonight at Pocono, what's it going to take to get that Red Bull Toyota to victory lane?
Keep it in one piece and try to stay away from all the trouble we got and pretty much just run a smooth race.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, what kind of momentum does that finish last week at Daytona give you coming into tonight?
I think it's pretty much a good just confidence that I can put the car where I want to put the car.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. Hey, congrats on that good race last week, and good luck tonight here in this one.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. But folks, the pace car leading the field down through the tunnel turn. Tonight, this tricky triangle, it is tricky. All 3 corners completely different than the other one. So that is what makes this 2.5-mile track so tricky. And tonight, these drivers getting ready to do battle here in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania. The pace car for the first time tonight leading the NEXXTCAR O'Reilly Series down through turn 3, looking to hook that hard left onto pit lane. The control of the field is in the hands of the flagman, and drivers reach down there one more time, tighten those steering wheels because we are racing here at Pocono. Green flag is in the air. Up through the gears they go, bumper to bumper, side by side down this long front stretch here at Pocono. The field fanning apart down the back stretch in the back part of the field. Side by side for the lead. Bollinger down low, Jenks outside. Here comes Peyton Tulloch trying to power his way around the outside. Oh, and a little wiggle out of the Dr. Pepper 53 Toyota Supra. He keeps it under control, but it's going to cost him the lead, and he's going to fall back to 4th, possibly 5th, as Noah Jackson looks to take advantage. 3 wide behind him. Oh, we're going to be 3 wide through the first time through the bus stop here on lap 1. These drivers, we've got 89 laps to go, but they're already putting it all on the line here through lap 1. Jackson, Eller, Bollinger, all side by side, 3 wide through the tunnel turn that time by. But out front, Brendan Jenks has checked out. He says, see you later. Here comes Peyton Tulloch and Alberto Abar trying to work together to catch him back up. Bollinger, after giving up the lead here early on, he's going to settle into that 4th position. Noah Jackson, he's down 2 positions as well. He's back into that 5th position. Dylan Eller up 4 positions here early on lap 2. He's up into that 6th spot. But right now, Brendan Jenks out front here over Peyton Tulloch and Alberto Abar. Just outside your top 10, Robert Babcock. We talked to him as they were coming around for the formation lap. He's trying to make a move. He's trying to crack his way inside the top 10. Up into the outside wall hard, I think was Corey Taylor, and it was. Corey Taylor hard up into the outside wall through the tunnel turn. Here comes Trenton Branson into 32. He's going to try to take advantage of it. Nothing doing this time. Robert Babcock has worked his way up inside the top 10. Just behind him, Owen Bridges and Jesse Graham side by side. Graham on the outside, Bridges down low. Owen Bridges, one of those drivers that left Daytona not getting the finish that he was hoping for. Can he look to turn his season around here in week 2 at Pocono? Only time will tell, but under fire from the outside of Dylan Tibbetts here in the 44. We've got a pass for second going on here down into the tunnel. Turn Alberto Abar down low. Peyton to Luck on the far outside. Abar gets that car to rotate beautifully down to that yellow line, but Peyton to Luck not letting him have the position off the corner exit. They're going to stay side by side, and that's going to get Colin Bollinger and the rest of this field behind them to get to their back bumper. Abar is now going to clear him through turn 3. Peyton to Luck now under fire from the 53 of Colin Bollinger. Can Bollinger get to his inside? Yes, he can, but he's going to get no help from Jackson behind. Now Jackson drops to the bottom. He's going to try to get to the back bumper of the 53. Side by side for third down the front stretch here into turn 1. Now Jackson bounces it back to the outside. Side by side just behind him. Caleb Lamb, Dylan Eller, side by side. Lamb down low, Eller outside. Eller gives up the position. Here comes Joe Torres trying to take it out of 1. Now to Luck, side by side with Bollinger to his inside. Oh, Jackson, a little wiggle out of the tunnel turn that time, almost up into the outside wall in that Valvoline 08 Chevy. But he's going to keep that Camaro under control. But here comes Caleb Lamb just a couple car lengths back in that 6th position. The white and black number 4, almost up into the outside wall. I think maybe Bollinger got a little piece of it in the 53. Is that going to open up the door for the Chevrolet Camaro of Caleb Lamb? It does not. Bollinger keeps that position. He stays inside the top 5. But here comes Lamb with a drive down to the bottom. Bollinger just running in the tire tracks of that 08 right in front of him, Noah Jackson. Brendan Jenks has checked out the half-second lead over Abar and the rest of the field. Abar starting to, well, I thought he was going to start to pull away from Peyton Tulloch a little bit, but Tulloch with the assist of that 08 of Jackson down the backstretch, he's going to get back to the back bumper. Tulloch misses the corner. That opens up the door for the 08. I'm not sure if maybe Jackson kind of maybe gave him a little bit of a shot heading into the tunnel turn, or maybe the draft was a little more strong than Tulloch had anticipated and got tight, but that 17 pushed way up to the outside, opened up the door for the 08 and Noah Jackson, and Jackson wasted no time taking advantage of it. He's up into that 3rd position, 7/10 of a second behind your leader, Brendan Jenks. Cole Morton having a solid start to this race, up 5 positions from that 19th spot up into that 14th spot, settled in nicely behind Owen Bridges in that 12. Robert Asson, we talked about the phenomenal race that he was having last week at Daytona, but unfortunately things did not go his way in that Stealth Arms Ford. Here he is currently running around that 15th spot, up 3 from where he took the green flag. Payne to Luck lost a position last time through the tunnel, turned to Noah Jackson, but here he was looking back to the inside of that 08. Nothing doing this time down the front stretch, has to jump back behind him and settle in and try to mount another charge to that 04. I'm sorry, the 08. Corey Yoakum in the 1, unfortunately not a good start to this race as he has had to take that number 1 Chevy Camaro to the garage here tonight. Early on. Cole Gosnell back here in that Coors Light number 98 Chevy Camaro, making his NEXXTCAR debut. Started in that 17th position. Here he is currently running in that 17th position as Corey Taylor in the 20, just behind him once again, finds that outside wall out of the tunnel turn. Brent Holman in his debut here in NEXXTCAR, he's lost 4 positions as well. He's back to that 19th spot tonight. But out front, Brendan Jenks has pulled out to a 7/10 of a second gap over Abar, Tulloch, and the rest of the field as Bollinger and Lamb swapping positions down here in turns 1 and 2. Lamb trying to get that outside line to work. Bollinger slams the door shut. to Luck, trying to make a move on 08 to Jackson, this time down the backstretch, makes the move. He says, I'm not done. I'm making a move on the 43. He goes up to second. A-Bar on the outside. Can he drop back in behind the 17? Yes, he can. Here comes Noah Jackson trying to follow suit of the 17. He's going to get to the inside of that 43 Silver Bullet Red Bull Toyota down here in the 3. Jackson almost up into the door to the 43. A-Bar trying to repeat what he did last week at Daytona. The 53 of Bollinger staying dedicated to the 43's back bumper. That's going to push him past Noah Jackson. The 53 gets past Noah Jackson. Jackson just lost 2 positions here down the front stretch. And just like that, folks, that is how quickly. Oh, big wiggle out of the 4 of Caleb Lamb. He's going to keep that Chevy Camaro underneath him, but a huge wiggle on the entrance into 1. He got extremely tight there behind that 08 of Jackson and then overcorrected it. Almost lost the back end of that Camaro. Oh, we got a big wreck. A-Bar, Bollinger, several others involved here down the backstretch. Caution is out for the first time tonight. A-Bar spun around. The 08 of Jackson, Bollinger, he's going to get rolling as the 08 Valvoline of Noah Jackson sitting backwards down on the apron. A-Bar still sitting there. Can he get that 43 back to rolling? He cannot. He has to get towed. Caution is out for the first time tonight in your last week's winner here on lap, lap 9. Not the way that these drivers wanted this race to go for them. What just happened down the backstretch? Let's jump on the NEXXTCAR drone here. And that is exactly what we were talking about in the pre-race show, folks. The guy behind you, he's got to be set up on that back bumper properly. Unfortunately, Noah Jackson was not set up properly on the back bumper of that 53. Let's jump on the roof cam here of Noah Jackson. He tries to go with the 53 right here, but he connects with him as he's already coming left, just catches the rear bumper, and around they go, and unfortunately nothing the 53 or 43 could do there. Just as he gets to the inside of the 43, gets tagged from behind, and around they go. Man, hard contact, all 3 cars. But it looked like Bollinger was able to get that 53 Dr. Pepper rolling. Let's jump on the helmet cam here of Colin Bollinger. Yeah, you heard it, man. Not what you want to see here down that backstretch. Let's jump on the helmet cam of the 43 of Alberto A-Bar. Obviously has no idea what's awaiting. You heard it. The engine blowing immediately. Man. But caution is out for the first time tonight. As the field, little split strategy here on lap 10. The first 6 drivers, Brendan Jinks, Dylan Eller, Robert Babcock, Patrick James, Robert Asong, Brent Homan, all staying out under this caution, while Joe Torres in 7th on back just led the field down pit road. So a little bit of a split strategy here on lap 10. But, folks, let's see if we can't dial up the driver of that 43, Alberto Abar. Actually, he's back down and away here in that Toyota Supra. Noah Jackson, he's back down and away as well in the 08, and Colin Bollinger as well. So all three drivers involved in that one, well, they are back underway here tonight. A couple other drivers coming back down pit road to top off: Owen Bridges, Peyton Tilloch, Trenton Branson, and Jesse Graham. Well, Jesse Graham is currently stopped just prior to that commitment line for pit road. Now he's going to get that number 5 Chevy Camaro back rolling it away here and on to pit road. But folks, the lights are out on that iRacing pace car. That means one thing and one thing only: we are going back racing this time. Noah Jackson, Alberto Abar, 1 lap down, going to be fighting for that lucky dog position at the next caution or at the end of stage 1 on lap 40. Brendan Jenks, your leader, choosing that outside line here on this restart. Here in NEXXTCAR, we allow the leader and the leader only to have lane choice. So choosing that outside line is the 81 of Jenks. The control of the field is in the hands of Brendan Jenks. Into the restart zone we go, and green flag is back in the air. Back underway here at Pocono. Patrick James did not get a good launch in the 82. That's going to allow Dylan Eller in the 77. He's going to jump up to that outside immediately. Babcock, he's up to that 4th position after everything just went down. Here comes Patrick James trying to fight back. Here comes Robert DeSong around the outside, 3 wide after turns 1. Robert Babcock, can he stay ahead of Hassan? Yes, he can with the slide job off that bottom line. Hassan is shoving him down the backstretch here at Pocono. You saw the 2 bouncing all over the place. The 29 of Hassan clearly not happy with the move that Babcock just put on out of turn 1. Now to the inside of Eller through the tunnel turn. 77 outside, 2 inside. And Brendan Jenks looking in his rearview mirror saying, "Thank you very much, boys. I'll take it from here." Looking back off the rear deck lid of your current leader, Brendan Jenks, down the front stretch this time by to start lap 14 of 40 in stage 1. Things getting dicey out back, folks. You see everybody weaving and bouncing back and forth back there, trying to get around the 20 of Corey Taylor. I'm assuming Taylor got back up into the outside wall out of turn 3, and everybody had to take evasive action to try to avoid him. Oh, the 3's going to get tight right there behind, behind the 82 of Patrick James. Dylan Tibbetts got a lot of company around him. Almost to his outside goes the 49 of Brent Homan. Thinks better of it. Backs in line. Here comes Colin Bollinger trying to take advantage into the tunnel turn. Oh, way up into the outside wall goes the 49 of Homan. Oh, watch out, Jesse. Jesse's going to bounce it to the inside. So does the 98 of Cole Gosnell. Everybody going to avoid that Milwaukee Toyota Supra of Brent Homan. But just inside the top 10, Dylan Tibbetts looking for more. Back to the inside of Cole Morton at 94. Caleb Lamb going to try to make a move down here into turn 1. Looking to the inside of Patrick James in the 82. Oh, Morton's going to get a little tight behind that 82. Has to chase it up the track a little bit. Had to lift. That's going to really open up the door for the 44 off corner exit. He's going to take full advantage of it. I thought he was going to try to make it 3 wide down the backstretch this time. Thinks better of it. Tucks in behind the 4 and pushes Caleb Lamb down the backstretch into the tunnel turn. Oh, Dylan Tibbetts got a great run that time out of the tunnel turn. He says, all right, I'll let you guys have it the last time. I'm taking it this time. 3 wide and carnage down here in turn 3. And that takes out four cars. James, Liam, Morton, and Bollinger all involved in this one, and Bollinger goes 2 for 2 in the cautions that were not even his fault. Colin Bollinger drove away from the last one. He drives away from this one, but I think he got a little more damage out of this one. Caution is out for the second time tonight, as a lot of damage to that right rear fender of the 53 just below the Dr. Pepper logo. Caution is out for the second time tonight. Let's back it up and let's see what happened here in turn 3. 3 wide. Let's see what happened. Let's jump on the roof cam here of Colin Bollinger. Yeah, something happened between the 44 and the 4. Let's see what the drone picks up here. Three wide. Caleb Lamb in the middle. Oh, he just turns in, and he expects Dylan Tibbetts, I think, to be a lot lower on the track. I think he expected the 4 to be a little lower. And that just, everybody piles in after that. Yeah, Tibbetts, I think, was going to try to run the middle line. I'm not sure if maybe he thought he was going to be able to clear the 4 and the 82. But yeah, he just kind of stayed dedicated to that middle line right there and didn't quite get the car to rotate down to the bottom of the track. And, well, unfortunately, Caleb Lamb was expecting him to get down there. But, man, just ever so slightly, that little bit of contact, and around goes the 4 of Lamb, hard into that outside wall. Let's jump on the helmet cam of Lamb. Yeah, him and Tibbetts didn't make that hard of contact, but that's how on edge these cars are here, folks. Just that little bit was enough to send that 4 around in front of everybody. Now let's back it up and let's see what Colin Bollinger saw for the second time out of his windshield here tonight. Tries to lock it down, but man, that one just lands right in his lap. But for the second time, he was able to drive away. Cole Morton got a little bit of damage out of that as well in that 94 Morton Men Racing. But under caution for the second time tonight. But folks, we're going to step away here for a quick break. Don't go anywhere because we have got more of the action from the Tricky Triangle right around the corner. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
To know you're not alone. The moves that you make, yeah, that come up mistakes. Don't ever lose your hope. Just know you were born for this. Just know you were born for this. We are the warriors who learn to love the pain. We come from different places, but have the same name. Cause we were born for this. We were born for this. We are the broken ones who chose to spark the flame. Watch as the fire rages. Our hearts
All right, folks, welcome back here to Pocono Raceway, where we are quickly closing in on the halfway point of this first stage tonight. Robert Asong is your leader tonight, getting ready to lead these drivers back to the green flag here out of turn 3. The control of the field in the hands of the 29 of Robert Asong. Down into the NEXXTCAR restart zone we go. Green flag back in the air. Up through the gears they go, bumper to bumper, side by side. Hassan clears the field. Tibbetts trying to get up there with the help of the 17 of Paint to Luck behind him. Corey Taylor, he's not had a great start to this race. He's found that outside wall a couple times, but he's looking to put it behind him in the 20. He's trying to work his way up inside the top 5. He's currently sitting in third position. Now making forward, to Luck takes a position. Hasong, he's checked out from the field. Dylan Tibbetts in second, but side by side for third. Tulloch down low. Taylor outside. Tulloch's going to take the position. Here comes Joe Torres trying to follow through into 3. Nothing doing this time. He's got Brendan Jenks all over his back bumper this time out of the tunnel turn into 3. Oh, big change of speed right there for the 3. He has to back it up. Look at the run the 81's going to get because of it. That's going to stack him up a little bit here off corner exit. Bridges got a little bit of loose in the 12. Now here comes the 94 of Coolmore, and he's trying to make a move. He's looking to the inside of Jesse Graham. Graham's not going to block. He's going to stay in the middle, 3 wide down the front stretch. Now Bridges clears them. They go back to 2 wide. Jesse Graham backs out. Coolmore takes a position. Now Jesse Graham trying to get the crossover here out of turn 1, but that's got him into a 3 wide situation. Bollinger, it does make contact with the outside wall. Babcock drops back into 2. He's back into that 12th position. These drivers getting very aggressive here as we are getting ready to cross over into the second half of stage 1. Folks, these drivers racing like it's the last lap right now, and there's still quite a lot of laps left. 70 to go here in this one. But out front, Corey Taylor falling back to that 6th position. He's got Joe Torres to his inside in the 3, and that Jimmy John's fast. Not able to clear him out of 3. They stay side by side down the front stretch, just behind Brendan Jenks in the 81 that cleared him. Now a battle for the lead, heating up 3 wide down here in turn 1. Tulloch drives it in deep, makes contact with the 44 Tibbetts. 3 wide, still out of turn 1. Somebody is going to have to give down here in the tunnel turn. They get it figured out down the backstretch. His song said, all right, boys, that was fun. I'm going to go back to my lead if you don't mind. Back to single file for the lead this time into the tunnel turn. Robert Hasong has not pit yet in this race. So he's doing all this on old tires, folks. This is something that these drivers are going to keep an eye on. He is yet to pit, yet here he is holding off the field. Dylan Tibbetts last pit on lap 10. Brendan Jenks lap 16. Tulloch lap 11. So he's got much older tires than the rest of the field and able to hold his own as of right now, but under attack from the 44 Tibbetts again. This time Tibbetts might prevail. Yes, he does. Brendan Jenks says, all right, I want that second place as well. Now Peyton Tulloch's going to try his hand again. Jenks shuts the door on the 29 of Hasong. It is a 4-car breakaway for the lead. Colin Bollinger in 5th, currently 1.8 seconds behind your leaders. Tulloch still not able to get around the 29 of Robert Hasong. But now a side-by-side battle for the lead. Tibbetts outside, Jenks on the bottom. Dylan Tibbetts going to lead them back to lap 23. 3 wide once again down the front stretch here. Robert Babcock, Caleb Lamb, Owen Bridges getting up into the outside wall a little bit and getting a little squirrely. But they'll keep it under control. Bridges clears on both. He drives it in deep into 1. That's going to open up the door for Babcock, though. The 12 drove it in a little too deep. Babcock going to make the move here off corner exit. He's going to be able to do so. But still side by side down into the tunnel turn goes the 12 into 2. And still side by side for the lead out front, folks. Oh, that's going to get tight with A-Bar. A-Bar lifts. He almost gets turned fourth. That's going to open up the door for the 08 of Jackson. Jackson going to try to take advantage. He's going to try to get the outside. Oh, here comes Bridges down the track. I thought he was going to come down and hook the right rear of Lamb, but he's going to fall back in line behind him. They get it figured out as they trade positions for the lead. Here comes Peyton Tulloch. Where does he go into 17? Tibbetts going to clear the 81 this time by with the help of the 17 down the front stretch. Now can Tulloch mount a charge? Single file line down the backstretch here at Pocono. Now Jenks going to try to look to the outside of the 44. Maybe he thinks better of it. His song, he lost control of this race, fell back to fourth, but still holding strong, keeping pace with the leaders. Just 0.4 of a second behind third, Peyton Tulloch. Colin Bollinger has ran down your leaders, and he has left Cole Morton and the rest of the field behind. Morton 1.6 seconds behind the 53 of Bollinger in fifth. But out front, Tibbetts, Jenks, Tulloch, Hassong, and Bollinger, your top five. But Bollinger looking to take fourth from Hassong on those old tires. Bollinger's last on pit road on lap 16. Hassong, like we've mentioned, has yet to pit. He's the only car out on the track that has yet to pit. But hey, right now, he's holding strong in that top five. So this is something the drivers are going to definitely be keeping an eye on, especially as we get later in the race, just how much track position matters. You know, you heard Peyton Tulloch. He mentioned in the pre-race show, we asked him what was it going to take for him to get back to victory lane here at Pocono, and he said tires, tires, tires. Well, Jesse Graham, the other guy up in the pre-race show with us, he said track position. So right now, I would have to say that all of that strategy is definitely leading towards what Jesse Graham said, track position. While fresh tires are nice, Robert Song is showing that, hey, that track position is key here at Pocono. But 15 laps to go here in stage one as Jenks and Tibbetts battle side by side for the lead once again here down into turn one. Tibbetts down low, Jenks on the outside. Jenks drives it in deep. Can the 44 stay to his inside? He cannot. Brandon Jenks back to the top of the lineup here at Pocono. Robert Babcock looking to the inside of Dylan Eller down here out of the tunnel turn. This is the battle for 8th right now. Got Joe Torres just ahead of these guys in that number 3 with Cole Morton just ahead of them in that 94. Alberto Abar just ahead of the 5 of Jesse Graham, but that battle is not for position. Alberto Abar is the one and only car a lap down right now, so if the next caution comes out, that 43 would be the lucky dog and get back on that lead lap here tonight. Great shot of the field coming down the front stretch here at the start-finish line. Oh, up into the outside wall. Hard goes the 29 of Robert Asong. Those old tires starting to play a factor here on lap 28. Now under fire from behind with Cole Morton in the 94. Here comes Robert Babcock. He's worked his way around Dylan Eller and Joe Torres in the 20. I'm sorry, now the 29's coming to pit road. His song says, all right, I've had enough on these 29 lap old tires. I'm bringing these bad boys to pit road. With 12 laps to go in the stage. His song will stay on the lead lap. That's the good thing here about Pocono, folks. You can pit, and you will stay on the lead lap. So that is exactly what Alberto Abar wants to see in that 43. He cannot afford another driver to go on a lap down. But Brendan Jenks leading the field down into the tunnel turn here. 0.7 of a second. Now make it 0.8 of a second over Dylan Tibbetts, Peyton Tulloch, and the rest of the field is Bollinger. He's been involved in both crashes tonight. Neither one his doing. But here he is looking to crack inside the top 3 as he is underneath Peyton Tulloch into 17. He's going to take the position away here out of 3. Tulloch thought was going to try to maybe set him up for a crossover city move out of turn 3, but nothing doing this time down the front stretch. Tuck's back in line, and here he is pushing a 53 back to the back bumper of the 44. Robert Song currently going into the tunnel turn, and the leaders just now coming out of turn 1. So, yeah, Robert Song well ahead of the leaders. No threat of going a lap down here, so that saves Alberto Abar in that 43 machine. Cole Martin up into that 5th position, but in a side-by-side battle with Robert Babcock, as Babcock's going to take over that spot. Morton's going to fall back into that 6th spot. Dylan Eller leading the charge for the second half of the field here. Looking back off the rear roof of that 44 machine of Dylan Tibbetts, currently running around in that 2nd spot. Started this thing in 11th, so a great rebound so far for Dylan. Oh, the 53 of Bollinger back up into the outside wall out of the tunnel turn. He's starting to push a little hard to get around that 44 machine. Right now, the 2 Toyota Supras dueling it out here for 2nd with 10 laps to go. Make it 9 to go this time at the line. The field mostly single file down the back stretch. I'm sorry, the front stretch this time. Trent Branson trying to work his way up inside the top 10 into the stage points paying position. Just outside the top 10 in 11th. Oh, big wiggle out of Noah Jackson just behind him in the 08. Jackson not having the race that he was hoping for tonight. Started in that 2nd row, but right now down 9 spots in that 12th position after being involved in that first incident out of turn 1. Jesse Graham, Joe Torres battling it out for that 9th spot. And this is going to open up the door for Trenton Branson in the 32. Can Branson crack inside the top 10 down the front stretch? 8 to go this time. He's going to try to look to the inside of Joe Torres in the 3. Nothing doing this time. Torres with the draft off of the 5 in front of him of Jesse Graham. That's going to help him stay clear at 32. Now Branson, he's got to gather himself back up and try to mount a charge back at that number 3 Chevy Camaro. Trent up 2 spots from where he took the green flag. The 77 machine of Dylan Eller having a fantastic debut here in NEXXTCAR so far. Started in that 10th position, has worked his way up 3 spots here into that 7th spot from where he took the green flag. And well, good position to grab some stage points here in 7 laps. So great debut right now for the 77 of Dylan Eller. Caleb Lamb all over his back bumper in that number 4. But talk about back bumpers, the back bumper of that number 4, it has got a lot of damage to it here tonight. Unfortunately, all that damage came heavily with that outside wall and that second caution. Payne to Luck has lost contact with the second and third place cars. He's actually fallen back into the grasp of the number 2 of Babcock and the 94 of Morton just behind them. The fresher tires starting to play a factor. Here's Babcock. He's looking to make a move on a 17 of Payton to Luck. He's looking to the inside of Tulloch down here into turns 1. 17 outside, 2 inside. Babcock makes that move easily as he's going to move up into that 4th position. Now Morton says, all right, it's my time. Let's go. He's going to try to mount a charge to the back bumper of that 17 here through the tunnel turn. Almost up into the outside wall. Has to hook a hard left to get back around the 17 before he runs into the back of him. Now Morton's going to make the move down here in turn 3. Tulloch outside, Morton inside. Tulloch was last on pit road on lap 11, while Morton and Babcock both were on pit road on lap 16. So 6 lap fresher tires, folks. It might not sound like much, but here at Pocono, that can make all the difference, and that is exactly what you are seeing play out here as Morton goes to the outside. He's going to look to try to get the big run down the backstretch here out of turn 1. Let's jump on the roof cam here of Cole Morton in that 94. He's going to make the move easily out of turn 1 to Luck. He gives that position up. He's going to fall back to 6th. Morton is going to take over that top 5 spot in 5th and immediately says hasta la vista to Payton to Luck. Right now, Joe Torres holding on to that 10th and final points paying spot that will give out points here in 4 laps. Trent Branson just behind him, looking to get into that top 10. Torres looking to hold him off. Abar continues to be the only car 1 lap down, so at the end of this stage, he will get that lucky dog, and that 43 will be back in the fight, and I expect him to fight his way back up to the front. But out front, Brendan Jenks has pulled out to a 2.1 second lead over Bollinger and the rest of the field. There's a battle brewing for that 3rd position. Tibbetts, he's fallen back into the hold of that number 2 of Babcock. Babcock all over his back bumper here through turn 3. Tibbetts, another driver that was last on pit road on lap 10. So, and carnage out back. It looks like Jesse Graham involved and maybe Caleb Lamb as well. Caution is out, and with just 3 laps left in this stage, folks, that will end stage 1 as Brendan Jenks will take your stage 1 win tonight with Bollinger, Tibbetts, Babcock, and Morton, Tulloch, Eller, Torres, Branson, and potentially Lamb, your top 10. We have to back it up, and let's see what happened to the 4 of Caleb Lamb. Yeah, something happened out of turn 3 between him and I believe it was Jesse Graham in the 5. Yes, it was. Yeah, a lot of contact right there. And then, yeah, Lamb just kind of came up off the corner there. And something tells me something happened way back here maybe. No, I thought maybe these guys have made contact into the tunnel turn. Let's jump on the NEXXTCAR blimp here. Lamb down low, Graham outside. They make contact off the corner right there. And then Lamb just kind of comes up and doesn't quite stop coming up. But unfortunate turn of events for the 5 of Jesse Graham. I think he'll be all right, though. He didn't seem to make that big a contact with that pit road wall, so he might be all right here. Oh, actually, he made pretty substantial contact. I didn't see that part at first. Oh, yeah, that right rear bumper is pushed in pretty good there. Let's watch off the rear deck lid of Jesse Graham. The roof flaps deploy, sit back down, and into the pit lane wall goes Jesse Graham. Not the end of the first stage he was looking for, but he's going to get that number 5 Chevy Camaro pointed back in the right direction, and he is going to get that thing rolling again. But, folks, that is going to do it for your stage. Brendan Jenks, absolute dominating here so far tonight. But Bollinger, Tibbetts, they clearly have got something for that 81, especially now that all these tires are, or all these drivers are going to have the same life of tires underneath them. So, hey, folks, that was just for the first stage. Things are getting ready to heat up here at Pocono. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
I feel so bright, I feel so gifted, I feel so high, I feel so lifted. By my side is where you're sitting, in my life is where you fit in, yeah. I never thought that I would get this far. I wanna drive around in the nice cars, I wanna forget about my scars, and just have a good night. I smoke something down, I drink something down, I'm feeling it now, I'm feeling it now. I could say it out loud. When I see you, my heart goes, whoa, yeah. Whoa, my heart goes, whoa, yeah. When I see you, my heart goes. I could say it out loud. I feel so bright, I feel so gifted, I feel so high, I feel so lifted. By my side is where you're sitting, in my life is where you fit in. I feel so bright, I feel so gifted, I feel so high, I feel so.
All right, folks, welcome back here to Pocono Raceway, where we are getting ready to go back racing here after this stage break. Folks, everything you just saw was all for the stage. Now It is all for that checkered flag tonight. These drivers have been putting it all on the line here around this 2.5-mile track, and we are now getting ready to go back racing this time. The iRacing pace car getting ready to hook that hard left back onto pit lane. The control of the field is back in the hands of Brendan Jenks. Down into the restart zone we go, and green flag back in the air here at Pocono. Up through the gears they go, bumper to bumper, side by side. Brendan Jenks checks out immediately. That leaves Colin Bollinger and Robert Babcock battling side by side. Now Bollinger, he's going to check out. That leaves Tibbetts and Babcock side by side. Babcock up the track. He has to jump out of the throttle. Gets back to it. Here comes Peyton Tulloch in the 17. Going around is going to go to the 49 out back. He keeps it under control. Over the humps he goes. He keeps that 49 machine underneath him, but a wild ride for Brent Holman out of turn 1. But out front, Brendan Jenks looking in his rearview mirror, loving exactly what he is seeing. But now Colin Bollinger trying to run him back down here, down into turn 3. Babcock just behind him. Peyton Tulloch in a side-by-side battle with Joe Torres. Torres down low. Tulloch outside. Tulloch prevails this time. Torres trying to jump back in line in front of Eller. Eller, caution is out for the 4th time tonight as we have got carnage out back as Branson. His rear bumper has left the track. Caution is back out tonight. Let's back it up and let's see what exactly happened with the 32 of Trenton Branson. Oh, right there. I think with Robert Hassan getting up into the outside, man, Hassan made some heavy contact right there. Let's jump on the NEXXTCAR blimp here. Yeah, right there, Hassan gets into the wall. I think that, I can't tell if maybe the 32 came down just a hair or if the 12 came up just ever so slightly too far and just hooked him a little bit. Let's see if we can't get on the NEXXTCAR drone here. Yeah, 32 is actually a little loose coming off the corner. Yeah, right there. The 29 is getting super tight. And then, yeah, right there, the 32 is a little sideways. Well, the 12 is also coming up the track. He puts the 43 up into the outside wall of A-bar. Just hard, tight racing here out of 3. Yeah, right there, the 12's already wiggling. You know, he's already trying to save that thing. Unfortunately, the 32 Branson, wrong place at the wrong time. But the fortunate news for these drivers tonight, folks, if you're wondering just how that 43, how the 53, how the 94, now the 32, how are they still out on the track tonight? Well, these drivers were inadvertently given a fast repair tonight, so these drivers taking full advantage of it tonight. But you can see that 32 of Branson has not used it yet. As we're going to go ahead and jump back on that drone, and you're going to see he's missing that rear bumper completely in that 32. So but these drivers taking full advantage of the accidental fast repair that was given to them tonight. So these drivers take it and run, baby. Just like the Cleveland Cavaliers are taking it and running with it. Up 17 going into halftime here in Game 7 against the Detroit Pistons. Cleveland looking to continue their playoff run tonight. Man, I thought they were out of it when it was going back to Detroit for Game 7. I thought for sure the Cavs were done. But here they are proving me wrong tonight. Up big, up 17 here, heading into halftime. But Jenks continuing to be dominant tonight so far. Out of the 44 laps completed, he has led 34 of them tonight. So Brendan Jenks and his big return to NEXXTCAR proving that, hey, it might have been a couple seasons since I was last here, But hey, I'm back and I am here to make my name once again in NEXXTCAR. But Brendan Jenks, Colin Ballinger, Robert Babcock, Dylan Tibbetts, Peyton Tulloch, Joe Torres, Dylan Eller, Corey Taylor, Cole Morton, and Jesse Graham, your top 5 so far tonight, with Cole Gosnell, Caleb Lamb, Noah Jackson, Alberto Abar, Owen Bridges, Brent Homan, Trenton Branson, Robert Asong, Patrick James, and Corey Oakham, the rest of your field tonight. Unfortunately, not but the lights should be going off that iRacing pace car this time by. We've seen Jenks choose that outside line every time, and something tells me we're going to see him do it once again here on this restart. The lights are off on that iRacing pace car. That means one thing and one thing only. We are going back racing this time. But the pace car leading the field back through turn 3 once again with its lights out, looking to hook that hard left back onto pit lane. The control of the field in the hands of the 81 machine of Brendan Jenks. Into the restart zone we go. Green flag back in the air with 44 laps to go this time. Jenks clears the field once again. Ballinger, Tibbetts side by side for second. Ballinger down low, Tibbetts outside. Ballinger going to clear the 44 machine of Tibbetts. Tibbetts a little squirrely that time into turn 1. That's going to open up the door for Babcock. 3 wide. Here comes Tulloch. Up into the outside wall goes Joe Torres. Tibbetts trying to keep it. Oh, you're not clear, Peyton. I thought Tulloch was going to come all the way back across the track. 3 wide this time down here into the tunnel turn. Tulloch's going to clear him. That's going to make it to where Eller, Babcock, and Tibbetts all side by side, 3 wide that time out of the tunnel turn. Oh, Eller's going to jump up in front of Tibbetts this time. Tibbetts going to drive it in deep. Same with the 94 machine of Cole Morton. He drives it in deep into turn 3 as well. Everybody's going to make it through. Graham up into the outside wall. But folks, these drivers putting it all on the line right now. So, hey, what do you say we go ahead and let's turn up the volume of the NEXXTCAR O'Reilly series and let's NEXXTCAR it up around this 2.5 mile track. And caution is out for the 5th time tonight as major impact to that outside wall for the 94 of Cole Morton. Immediately has to toe to pit lane. Let's back it up and let's see what happened down there in turn 1 for that 94 Morton men racing team. Oh, he lifts and the 4 Lamb just got right into the back of him, and the 12 of Bridges comes in late. Man. Not sure if maybe the 94 lifted. Nah, he stayed kind of dedicated to the, or not dedicated, but same distance to the back bumper of the 20. I mean, he lifted a little bit right there. But just gets down in that grass. And once you get on the grass, folks, it's like driving on ice. And then the 12 of Bridges comes in late. Let's check out the rear deck lid here of that 94 machine. Man. And then back across the track. We're going to check out the 94's helmet cam real quick. Then we're going to jump on the helmet cam of Noah Jackson as the 94 came back across the track. Man. Huge impact to that outside wall. And then Bridges. It looks like maybe after he made the contact, was it Trenton Branson that he got into? Obviously not, anything Branson or Owen Bridges did. Just unfortunately that 94 machine, I think they didn't quite see him. Yeah, he tried to get it slowed up in time, but oh man, another major impact as the wheel goes rolling for. Was that Branson's front left wheel? Or is that Bridges' rear wheel that goes rolling down the track? We haven't seen that damage model. Oh, it's his it's his left front. We have not seen that damage model before. So iRacing clearly has updated its damage model. And unfortunately, Owen Bridges is the first one to demonstrate it for us here in NEXXTCAR. Gets loose, and right there the wheel just comes flying off. And goes rolling down the track. Owen, I'm sorry you had to be the one to demonstrate that for us, but that was cool. Love seeing that wheel go flying like that. That's awesome. Like I said, sorry that you had to be the victim to demonstrate that for us, Owen, but glad to see iRacing's updating these damage models because that was awesome. I'm sorry. And then let's jump on the helmet cam here of Noah Jackson and watch that 94 machine come back across the track just ahead of him. This is about as close as you can get to being a part of this crash. Man, that is as close as it gets right there, folks. But under caution for the 5th time tonight, as Cole Morton, unfortunately, has to call it an end to his race tonight. But the lights are going off on that iRacing pace car this time by. Unfortunately, Bridges, Morton, James, and Yoakum all retired from this race. Only 20 drivers turned out tonight. We've got 39 signed up, but apparently only 20 decided to race here tonight. But Brandon Jenks looking to continue what he has done all night long, and that is show the way around this 2.5-mile track. But now Paint to Luck restarting to his inside. Robert Babcock looking to back up that stellar performance at Daytona 2 weeks ago in week 1. Here he is once again up inside the top 3 in that 3rd position with Caleb Lamb behind him, Dylan Eller in 5th. But the pace car leading the field once again down through the tunnel turn. But for the 5th time tonight, the iRacing pace car hooking that hard left back onto pit lane. The control of the field is in the hands of the 81. He fires off, and we are back underway here at Pocono. Once again, a great launch by the 81 of Jenks. Babcock to Luck side by side for second as the field fanning apart behind him. Jesse Graham trying to work his way back up inside the top 5. He finished second at Daytona in week 1 2 weeks ago. He's looking to try to show, hey, that wasn't just a fluke, boys. As he's up into that 7th spot, side by side with Joe Torres into 3. Torres outside, Graham inside. Graham trying to get that car to rotate down to that yellow line. Does so. He's going to try to get the position. Here comes Dylan Tibbetts to his aid. Tibbetts going to try to make it 3 wide, and he will down here into turn 3. He backs out. The 3 of Torres drives it in deep. Can he get it to stick out of turn 3? Yes, he can. Not only does he get it to stick, he drives alongside the 77 machine of Eller and blows by the 77 HendrickCars.com machine of Eller. Torres up inside the top 5 now in that number 3 Jimmy John's freaky fast Chevy Camaro. Now here comes Eller saying, all right, buddy, I want that top 5 back. He might give him a bumper. That camera tucked in behind some RVs there. Sorry we didn't get to see that one, folks. I'm not sure if he gave the 3 a shot or not, but it got awfully close before our view became obscured. But Jenks continuing to show the way out front to Luck, riding around behind him in 2nd with Caleb Lamb in 3rd. Noah Jackson side by side with Jesse Graham right now. Remember, Graham was just involved in a couple of cautions ago, but he has rebounded nicely. He's up into that 9th position. Just behind him, Colin Bollinger. I'm sure Colin's just glad that he's missed a couple of these crashes tonight. He went 2 for 2 to start the race off, but here he is up back inside the top 10 in that 10th position. He's missed the last couple crashes, so I'm sure that Dr. Pepper number 53 Toyota is pretty happy about that one. Now looking to the outside of Jesse Graham in a 5. Your top 4, Jenks to Luck, Caleb Lamb, and Robert Babcock, all pit on lap 39. The rest of the field all on lap 52 under that last caution. So these drivers are continuing with a little bit of split strategy here tonight. To Luck using the draft to his advantage. 2/100ths of a second faster than your leader, Brendan Jenks, that last lap. Using that draft to his advantage, trying to pull back to the back bumper, that 81 machine. To Luck on a huge win streak here at Pocono in NEXXTCAR. Looking to try to make it 4 in a row. But Brandon Jenks trying to put an end to that streak tonight. Caleb Lamb stacking things up behind him as Joe Torres, Dylan Tibbetts side by side once again here through turn 3. Oh, Tibbetts going to miss the corner. Almost pushes up into the left rear of the number 3, backs out of it. That's going to open up the door for the 08 of Jackson to try to take advantage, and he will, as here comes the 53 of Bollinger trying to do the same. Babcock has fallen all the way back to that 8th position after restarting in that 2nd row. He's another driver on that lap 39 pit strategy. But right now it is playing out perfectly for Peyton Tulloch and Brendan Jenks. But here comes Joe Torres, the first driver on that lap 52 strategy. He's up into that 3rd position as Peyton Tulloch is taking over the lead over Peyton over Brendan Jenks there through turn 1 as Tulloch to the lead here at Pocono. Here comes Noah Jackson. He's looking to the inside of Caleb Lamb. Joe Torres right along just behind your 2 leaders. Let's jump on the roof cam here of Joe Torres. Down the front stretch we go. To look. Just gonna clear the 81. Now, here comes Joe Torres. He's gonna bounce it to the inside through turn 1. Trying to take full advantage of the fresher tires. He's going to clear the 81. He's going to clear the 17. Joe Torres to the lead here at Pocono as he's going to lead the field 3 wide behind him. Now 3 wide down here into the tunnel turn, folks. Who gives? 08 gives. 17 gives as well. 81 powers through. Jenks holds on to 2nd. And just like that, the 17 of Tulloch has fallen from the lead down to 3rd. Here comes Jackson. Here comes Bollinger. Here comes Lamb. Bollinger, Jackson, side by side. 53 inside, 08 outside. These 2 drivers involved in that first incident where Jackson got into the back bumper of that 53 machine and turned him into the 43 of Alberto Abar. Well, here we are, side by side with the 53 and the 08. Alberto Abar just a couple positions back in that 9th spot. But Joe Torres, with those fresher tires, has checked out from the field 0.6 of a second over Brendan Jenks, Peyton Tulloch, Colin Bollinger, Noah Jackson, and the rest of your NEXXTCAR O'Reilly Series field with 30 laps to go, coming to 29 this time. Oh, big save out of Noah Jackson off of turn 1. That's going to cost him a couple positions, actually put him in a 3-wide situation here. Bollinger's going to clear him. Tulloch, not as lucky. Jackson throws it down into the tunnel turn. Tulloch falls back to 5th. Those older tires definitely starting to show their low life right now as Brendan Jenks holding on to 2nd, but Tulloch has fallen back to 5th. Caleb Lamb has fallen back to 6th. Robert Babcock has fallen all the way back to that 9th position with Jesse Graham just behind him in 10th. So the fresher tires obviously showing their way here tonight. Side-by-side battle with Jenks and Bollinger. Jackson just behind him. Jenks up into the outside wall out of turn 1. Is that going to give the advantage to the 53? But the 08 comes to the rescue. The 81 down the backstretch this time. Bollinger has to tuck back in behind the 08. Gives him a shot heading into the tunnel turn. You got to wonder, was that maybe a little misjudgment, or is that a little bit of Bollinger playing the head games that he likes to do and saying, Jackson, don't forget about the first caution? Jenks stacking things up behind him a little bit. Jackson's going to go to his inside. Ballinger, not surprising to see him not go with the 08 of Jackson. Oh, Payne to luck almost up into the outside wall out of turn one. That's going to open up the door for Caleb Lamb. And Alberto Abar gets a little 2-for-1 action out of turn one. He's going to go all the way up into that 5th position. He's taking full advantage of the 17's miscue and stalling out the 4. 43 up inside the top 5. And not only did he get a 2-for-1 pass out of turn one, folks, he bought that buy one get one. Well, he's also pulled away from Paint to luck behind him. Now here comes Dylan Tibbetts. He's going to throw it down into turn one underneath Caleb Lamb. Robert Babcock just behind this battle. To luck, Lamb, Tibbetts, Babcock, bumper to bumper through the tunnel turn. Babcock almost up into the outside wall on corner exit. Oh, Tibbetts once again up the track and turn through. You've seen him do it a couple times tonight. You saw the flames come out the left side of that number 4's tailpipes. He had to lift a little bit. So both those cars starting to struggle a little bit, get a little tight there in turn 3. Babcock trying to take full advantage of it down this front stretch. He's going to do so. He's going to get to the outside of the 44 at Tibbetts. Lamb's going to drop to the bottom immediately. Side-by-side battle for second. Ballinger and Jackson. Ballinger takes over second place. Jackson all over his back bumper heading down into turn 3. Oh, Jackson's going to try to throw it in there a little deep. Nothing doing this time. Dylan Eller in the 77, unfortunate turn of events for him tonight. He was having a strong run in that 77, but unfortunately right now, back in that 16th position. I'm sorry, the 77 pitted. Brent Holman's coming to pit road this time as well. Oh, and he's going to possibly, he's going to blow through his pit box here. So pit road miscues for the 49 of Brent Holman. Not what you want to do, and then has to pull back forward for his car to get serviced. So definitely some miscues on pit road here for that 49 machine as the leaders come by for 23 laps to go this time. Torres, Ballinger, Jackson, Jenks, and Abar, your top 5. Abar tasked with trying to run down the driver that has had the best car all night long, Brendan Jenks in that 81 Chevy. Let's jump on the helmet cam here of Alberto Abar. As more green flag pit stops are starting. Colin Ballinger on pit road. Payne Tolux on pit road. Caleb Lamb comes to join the pit party as well in the 4. So 2 of your top 5 drivers on pit road. Colin Ballinger going to give up that second spot. Joe Torres, Noah Jackson, Brendan Jenks. When do they come down pit road? A-Bar has ran down to 81. He's to his back bumper. Caleb Lamb, he missed his pit box, so more pit road issues for these drivers. Ballinger's down and away. Peyton Tulloch's down and away. Trent Branson, he's leaving his pit box. The Caleb Lamb, he's going to finally finish his pit service. Torres, your leader. Noah Jackson in second, coming down pit road as well. Brendan Jenks, Dylan Tibbetts, Jesse Graham, Corey Taylor. Pit road is getting busy here tonight. Alberto A-Bar has been handed over your lead tonight, your Daytona winner. When does he make that hard left on the pit road with 21 laps to go? Robert Babcock has assumed that second spot, 3 seconds behind your leader, Alberto A-Bar, right now. A-Bar not coming this time. How about Babcock? He stays out. Babcock's going to be running on fumes here in the next couple of laps. He last pit on lap 39. So he has gone 62 laps, folks, without pitting. So that number 2 Red Bull Toyota Supra is going to be running on fumes here. I expect to see him on the next time by. A-Bar's last on pit road on lap 52, so he's closing in on 20 laps, so he can go a little bit longer, but with everybody else taking tires, he is going to lose a ton of track position to those guys. So I expect to see that 43 make that hard left this time as well. But Robert Babcock for certain has got to hook that hard left this time by. Robert Asong, he was last on pit road on lap 52 as well. He's in that third position along with Cole Gosnell in fourth. A-Bar coming this time in the 43. Yes, he is. What about Babcock? He's coming this time as well, just as I predicted. What about Robert Asong? He's going to stay out for one more lap. We've been keeping an eye on the black flag so far. Nobody has sped onto pit road, but we have seen multiple pit road issues. So, pit road, it is a long pit road here at Pocono, folks, and it is one of the tougher ones in the NEXXTCAR schedule to get onto. So, it is definitely showing its challenges here tonight. But A-Bar down and away with his, what we assume to be final pit stop. Babcock down and away as well in the 2. Cole Gosnell giving up that second spot. He's coming to pit road. Somebody back there making a, is that Dylan Eller? Yes, it is in the 77. He pitted on lap, it was like lap 62, I think, or something like that. So maybe an unscheduled pit stop here for the 77. Because, yeah, he was just on pit road a couple of laps ago. But Robert Assault coming to pit road this time. Is that will hand the lead over once it all cycles through to Colin Ballinger. We're getting word Colin took right side tires only. So a little bit of a gamble here out of the 53. That is not something that we are shocked to see out of that Dr. Pepper Toyota Supra team. He is no stranger to making big gamble decisions, and about 90% of the time, they pay out for Ballinger. So tonight, he has got to hold off Joe Torres and Noah Jackson for 18 laps. Can he do it? Well, if there's one in the business of the NEXXTCAR Racing League that can do it, it is none other than that 53 of Colin Ballinger. But he's got 2 hungry drivers behind him. Joe Torres, remember, he won a couple of seasons ago. Got the win taken away from him after a restart violation. But now tonight, looking to try to get that number 3 to victory lane here at Pocono. Noah Jackson just behind him. Brendan Jenks has had the best car all night long, but right now running outside the top 5 in that 6th position. But Alberto A-Bar looking to make the move on the 44. Dylan Tibbetts, this is for that 4th position. Abar not quite able to get to him on corner entrance. Yes, he can actually. He drove it in a little deeper in that 44 machine. Tibbetts took 4 tires only as well in that 44. So Abar, who took 4 tires, he's trying to get around. I'm sorry, Abar took right side tires only as well. So a mixed strategy. Torres and Jackson both took 4 tires. Colin Bollinger took right side tires only. Tibbetts took rights only. Abar took right side tires only. And then Brendan Jenks on down all took 4 tires only. So mixed strategy inside the top 5. And then 6th on down all taking 4 tires under that not caution, under that green flag pit stop. But right now, Colin Bollinger trying to show that, hey, 2 side tires, that was the way to go. But he has a 1.8 second lead over Joe Torres in second with 16 laps to go. Jesse Graham has had a solid, quiet night so far tonight. Started in that 9th position, but currently running around in that 8th spot. Got caught up in one of the incidents early on, but he has put that behind him, and here he is trying to back up that 2nd place finish at Daytona with a 2nd consecutive top 10 finish tonight. But 15 laps to go here at Pocono. Payne Tillett currently running around in that 7th spot. Definitely not the night that he was looking for in that 17. He started off great in that 4th position, but things just have not fallen the way that 17 had hoped. Currently running around that 7th spot. He's won 3 in a row here at Pocono, folks. Not looking like he might be able to make it 4 in a row unless he somehow gets a miracle here with 14 laps to go. Caleb Lamb holding on to that 10th and final top 10 spot. But here comes Corey Taylor trying to take it away from him down the front stretch this time. Robert Asong just behind them in the 12. Side by side for 10th. Caleb Lamb, Corey Taylor, door to door through turn 1. Here comes Robert Asong. Says, that's right, boys. You slow each other down. Let me get back up here and join this battle for the top 10. He's going to go now to the inside of Caleb Lamb. Fire coming out of the exhaust pipes down here through the tunnel turn. Both drivers out of the gas. Now, back to it. Hassong's going to clear Lamb. He's going to clear Lamb for 10th. Remember, the reason that Caleb Lamb is back here is because of his pit road issues. His pit stop, I'm sorry, not his pit stop, but his pit lane time, 1 minute and 2 seconds. Well, that has dropped him from battling for that 6th position now to battling just to try to stay up inside the top 10. But out front, Colin Bollinger with a 1.4 second lead over Joe Torres and the rest of the NEXXTCAR O'Reilly Series with 12 laps to go. Joe Torres in second, took 4 tires under that last pit stop. Same with Noah Jackson. Abar, little ways back in that 4th spot, 5 seconds behind your leader. He got around the 44 machine of Dylan Tibbetts, but Tibbetts not letting him pull away right now. Holding strong, just 0.6 of a second behind him, with Brendan Jenks just behind him. But you can see it right there, folks, on your screen. Torres, he's been reeling in that number 53 machine of Bollinger the last couple of laps. Lap 78 went to the way of Bollinger, but Torres has won 4 out of the last 5 laps. And right now, he's got that lead down to 1.4, make it 1 point. I thought it was going to drop down to 1.3. Bollinger's definitely a lot better down here in turn 3. Torres is a lot better in turn 1. And that one's going to go to the way of Bollinger there on lap 80. 3/100ths of a second to Bollinger. So Torres was running him down by 1/10 of a second back on lap 77, but that gap, almost up to the outside wall goes Torres out of 1. So maybe the tire's starting to equal out here. Remember, Bollinger took right sides only. Torres took all 4. That gap, 1.6 seconds and growing, folks. We talked about it. We talked about in the pre-race show. Payne Tulloch said tires were going to matter the most. Jesse Graham said track position was going to be key. Well, track position so far tonight has definitely been the deciding factor in this one. No doubt about it. Bollinger holding strong, 1.6 seconds ahead of Torres, Jackson, Abar, Tibbetts, and the rest of this field tonight. All up into the outside wall goes Eller once again into 77. Just ahead of Jesse Graham and Robert Babcock. Those two dueling it out for that 8th position. Graham currently has it. Babcock wants it. These two finished 2nd and 3rd last race at Daytona. Now here they are battling it out side by side for 8th. Babcock down low. Graham outside. Babcock's going to take the position away through 3 this time. Dylan Tibbetts, a big issue coming off of turn 1. That's going to give the position to Brendan Jenks. Did a great job of keeping the 44 underneath him that time out of turn 1, but going to cost himself a position as Jenks is going to take over 5th. Tibbetts falls back to 6th. 3.7 seconds ahead of your 7th place Payton Tulloch, who's 2.4 seconds ahead of Robert Babcock in 8th. So Tulloch kind of caught in no man's land right now, right in the middle. But you know who's not caught in no man's land? That is none other than the 53 of Colin Bollinger. 7 laps to go, folks. Still holding strong to a 1.5, 1.4 second lead. Now he's going to have lap traffic just ahead of him. Cole Gosnell going to drop out of the way here in that number 98. He's going to let the leader go on by. That's going to put him 1 lap down tonight. Eller has taken that 77 machine to the garage as well. So 5 retirees tonight here at Pocono with 7 laps to go. Make it 6 this time by. Yeah, right there, Bollinger Gets it up to a 1.7 second gap. He's a lot better on this end of the track. Here comes Jackson. Now, Jackson, he's going to go to the inside of the number 3 of Torres. I thought for sure those two would try to work together to try to run down Bollinger, but instead, Jackson immediately takes the position. Now, oh, Jackson hard up into the outside wall out of turn 2. These drivers, folks, are pushing it as hard as they can. Jackson holds on to second, but look at the gap now, 2.1 seconds down into the tunnel turn. That is exactly what Bollinger wants to see with 5 laps to go this time. Five laps to go here at Pocono. Robert Babcock, he's starting to run down that number 17 of Peyton to Luck. This is for 7th spot. Babcock last pit on lap 71. Peyton to Luck was on pit road on lap 68. So 3-lap fresher tires for that number 2. Starting to maybe play a factor as to Luck way down the track trying to break the draft of the 2 with 4 laps to go. Let's jump on the roof cam here of Robert Babcock. Yeah, he has run down that 17 of Paint to Luck with no issues. As to Luck trying to break the draft down the long straightaway, but it is not helping his case right now with 3 laps to go here around this 2.5-mile track. Babcock definitely going to be there by the time that white flag drops. But out front, Bollinger, no one getting up there to challenge him as 2.2 seconds the gap from himself and Noah Jackson here in second. To Luck, 4.5 back from Tibbetts, but Babcock all over the back bumper of that 17 machine down through the tunnel turn. Oh, Babcock's going to get to the inside of the 17 of Tulloch. Side by side, can Tulloch prevail off corner exit? Yes, he can. Now he drops back to the bottom to try to break the draft. But Babcock trying to power his way back around the outside. Tulloch trying to do everything he can do to hold on. But out front, Colin Bollinger leading the field down the backstretch into the tunnel turn. The battle for 7th continuing down the backstretch. Tulloch outside, Babcock inside. Babcock's going to make the pass. No, he does not complete it into the tunnel turn. Tulloch stays staying hard on his outside. They make a little bit of contact, but they keep it rolling straight. But folks, out front, Colin Bollinger is going to lead the field back to the white flag. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go, presented by True Designs here at Pocono Raceway. 2.5 miles left here in this race tonight. What a roller coaster of a ride for that 53 of Bollinger tonight. The first 2 cautions, well, he went 2 for 2 for being involved in them. He put that behind him tonight. Pit strategy has fallen his way, and here he is, leading the field down into turn 3 for the final time tonight, folks. Colin Bollinger is going to lead the field out of turn 3 for the final time down to the checkered flag. Bollinger's going to get his first win of season 10 here in the NEXXTCAR O'Reilly series. Noah Jackson second. Babcock to Luck. Side-by-side duel out of 3 to Luck. Babcock turns him. To Luck gets the position at the start-finish line, but Babcock, maybe a little frustration out of the 2, hooks the 17 at the start-finish line. But I think To Luck got the position. But Colin Bollinger started on pole. Well, clearly had a fast Dr. Pepper Toyota, and he converted that pole position to the win tonight. Colin Bollinger burning it down on the front stretch here at Pocono. But folks, let's check out your race results from tonight here around this 2.5 mile track they call the Tricky Triangle. Colin Bollinger walks away with his first win of season 10. Noah Jackson in second, Joe Torres third, Alberto Abar fourth, Brandon Jenks fifth, Dylan Tibbetts sixth, Peyton Tulloch seventh, Robert Babcock eighth, Jesse Graham in ninth, with Robert Song rounding out your top 10. Caleb Lamb at 11th, Trenton Branson 12th, Corey Taylor 13th, Brent Homan in his NEXXTCAR debut in 14th, Cole Gosnell in his debut in 15th, along with Dylan Eller and his debut back in 16th, Owen Bridges in 17th, Cole Morton 18th, with Patrick James in 19th, and Corey Yoakum rounding out your field in 20th. But folks, don't go anywhere, because we have got your post-race interviews right around the corner. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
so bright, I feel so gifted, I feel so high, I feel so lifted. By my side is where you're sitting, in my life is where you fit in, yeah. I never thought that I would get this far. I wanna drive around in the nice cars, I wanna forget about my scars and just have a good night. I smoke something down, I drink something down. I'm feeling it now, I'm feeling it now. I could say it out loud. When I see you, my heart goes, whoa, oh, 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 yeah.
All right, folks, welcome back here to Pocono Raceway for your post-race interviews where Colin Bollinger gets to victory lane for the first time this season. Colin, you grabbed the pole, you finished first, but man, this was one heck of a roller coaster of a ride for you tonight.
Yeah, man. I mean, I really don't know how. I feel like it was more bumper cars for me. Everywhere I was at, they were ended up wrecking in front of me, or we were getting pushed around and beat up. But luckily, we just had a good run there in the last stage and just made a good pit strategy and just held on to the lead and brought it home.
Yeah, absolutely. Walk me through your race tonight because, the first two cautions, you were involved in both of them. Obviously, none of them your own doing, but they just kind of happened right in your lap. But you're able to turn it around, get that 53 back fixed, and get her to victory lane. But, like you said, it had a lot to do with that pit strategy as well. Walk me through that decision of taking two tires because we saw Robert Asong stay out early in this race. He went 30-some laps without pitting. He was able to hold himself up inside the top 5. So did any of that you saw out of that 29 have any effect on you taking right sides? Or did you know, hey, if it comes down to a green flag pit stop with 20 to go, it's right sides only?
Yeah, no, funny enough, me and Dylan Tibbetts, we were in there in our Discord, obviously, and I was talking about the same thing. I said when we took our last set, second to last set, and I was like, yo, like 20 to go around there, like I might just drop 2 on it and see how far ahead we come out and just try to hold on to it. And that was the goal. I didn't make it to lap 70. Once I passed the 08, I saw that the next lap or two after that, I really wasn't making time to the leader. So I figured it was pretty much a good enough time now. We brought it down, and once I came down that everybody was going to follow, and just like that, everybody came flowing in, and just that extra lap was able to get us enough time out ahead and just manage the tires and just obviously just manage the gap to Joe and Noah and just keep them at bay until the end of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Walk me through. We talked about in the pre-race show just how kind of funky the start of this season is. It's you race a week, you're off a week. You race a week, then you're off a week. With the way the holidays are falling, obviously we're off next weekend for Memorial Day. How does that kind of affect a little bit as the season goes into its full run here in the summer of 1 week you're racing, next week you're off. 1 week you're racing, next week you're off, especially when we come back in week 3 and we're going short track racing at Iowa?
Yeah, it's definitely. I say it's in the middle ground. It's not so tough, and it gives people obviously time to do stuff with their families that everybody should be doing. But we have a lot of new guys in the league as well, so not being able to race every week, it's going to take us a little longer to acclimate with each other. And, some of us don't know how other guys drive and vice versa. So it's just one of those things. But from the racing standpoint, I mean, I feel like pretty much everybody, majority of the time, could just hop in and in that hour practice kind of figure out what they got to do and what they got to do to go faster or keep tires on. And other than that, it's not that big of a deal, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. One last question for you. Obviously, you missed the last race at Daytona to kick off season 10. The new chase format, it's back. Winning, you're in. It's out the window. You missed out on some points last week. This week, obviously, making up for them in a big way, the best way possible with victory lane. But how does this turn your season around from where you kind of dug a hole missing last week to, hey, we're back in this thing, baby?
Yeah, it definitely helps. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. You already know, super speed racing is the most boring thing to me. So if I can miss them, we'll miss them early instead of late. So that's what we'll do. But no, like you said, we're just pretty much that hole. We kind of just covered the hole back up, and now we're kind of just at even ground again. Now we gotta keep pushing and get back and try to get up into the lead of the points.
Absolutely, buddy. Hey, congrats on getting to victory lane tonight here at Pocono.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Moving on to your second place finisher, Noah Jackson. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's up, man?
Not much. Walk me through your race tonight because, you know, you started in third, you finished second, but kind of like Colin, not so drastically. But you had a little bit of a roller coaster ride yourself tonight. You were involved in that first incident. Walk me through what happened and how you're able to bounce back in that 08 tonight.
Well, I hate to do that to Colin. I was just trying to get him past A-Bar, but I just hit him in the right rear, which sent him up the track, which I didn't mean anything by it. I take blame for it. But track position was just key tonight. If you didn't have clean air, you was literally just tight all freaking night. So you just had to manage your stuff and just try to have clean air whenever you could.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you heard Colin's side of the strategy. He came down that one lap, made the big difference. He pit on lap 68. You followed him on lap 70. When he came down, were you like, all right, we're kind of stranded here? Or what was your thought process when you saw him come down a lap early?
I mean, I honestly thought we was gonna have enough time, but I guess 2 tires just helped free the car up, which it probably helped him a lot, especially with how tight we was getting at the rate that we was going when the tire fall off. We was just getting super tight, so that probably worked out best for him to loosen the car up. So props to him for a good strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. In week 3, we go short track racing at Iowa. How do you feel about it?
It's short track racing, so we're just gonna have to see how it goes.
Absolutely, buddy. But hey, congrats on that second place finish tonight.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Moving on to your third place finisher, Joe Torres. Hey, buddy. Welcome back to the league and welcome back to this third place finish tonight.
I know, right, Ron? It feels like nothing's changed since we've been back here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Walk me through, you know, these guys all pit on lap 68. Noah was lap 70. Well, you pitted on lap 90. I'm sorry, you did pit one lap later as well. So walk me through your thought process on that.
Well, let's put it this way. At the beginning of the run, when we went back green, I had took 4 tires, so I had like 3 sets. I saved a whole set throughout the entire first stage, which we went to the back, and then we drove back to the front. We fell backwards all the way to like probably around 10th or 8th or 10th position. Then we drove from there, saved a set, and then we used like 2 sets, and then we got to the point on that last part of the race where we were leading. I thought that the strategy would be either take 4 tires and see what happens, but man, I was completely wrong. I thought we were gonna have a chance at it, and no, I got too tight at the last 10 laps to go. I started pounding the wall off of 2, and then I was like, man, it's over. Car's toast.
Yeah, you know, obviously this is the second race of the season. We know the chase is back. Win in, you're in, it's gone. We saw last week just how desperate some of these guys were willing to get with the pushes, the blocks. You know, walk me through the aggression that we saw tonight, because I think every time that I saw you, you were either 2 wide or 3 wide tonight. And a couple of the times, these guys were driving it 3 wide through the tunnel turn, which I was like, all right, y'all are just trying to throw this race away, you know? So walk me through the aggression on your side of things. It was aggressive, but the majority of the race was very clean.
Yeah, it was. The aggression, well, that I was surprised for Procura Stairs. It was that aggressive because I had the agenda of trying to get points because I know I missed Daytona, which kind of sucked due to some stuff that happened on the outside. I had to make up points. I had to be aggressive. If I was going to gain any points and gain anything to be in that chase, I had to be aggressive. Everyone else was aggressive. That it was just surprising how they went 3, 4. They were even bumping each other, spinning each other out. I was very impressed with how aggressive we were, but you know what? It made it so much fun to just go balls to the wall, sending it, making it see if it sticks. Sometimes it stuck, sometimes it didn't. But my goal for this race was to be aggressive and try to finish top 3. That was the entire goal. Even if I had a chance to go for the win, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. But hey, goal achieved. You walked away with that third place finish. So hey, congrats to that in your return to NEXXTCAR.
Thank you, man. And also representing that 3, how to be aggressive. Can't let that go right there, bud. Gotta be rattling cages soon.
Absolutely, yes, sir. Congrats on that third place.
Thank you, my man.
Yes, sir. But folks, that's going to do it for your post-race interviews from this 2.5-mile track nicknamed the Tricky Triangle. In 2 weeks, we are off next week for Memorial Day, but in 2 weeks, we go short track racing for the first time this season at Iowa Speedway for 140 laps. But that's going to do it for this one, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we will catch you guys next time. Enjoy the rest of your week. God bless, and good night.
Give me the laughs, give me the hate, give me the pressure. Know where to run, know where to hide, pain is pleasure. I hear the wolves calling my name, no surrender. Here only the strong survive. Don't need a sign, nothing divine's gonna save me. I'm a machine, building a dream is what shaped me. Breaking the door, waging a war, no escaping. Watch me as I touch the sky. The